So,
what the sports been like with everything happening?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think first of all, you know, you look back and you know, you look at the week, you look at actually the last couple weeks. You know, there's people had me going all over the place. Y'all had me leaving. Everybody had me leaving, but me, and even our players, they had me leaving. And, you know, and I think that's a, you know, like I share with our players, I would hope that I've asked them to buy into what I'm trying to do here and what we're trying to do offensively, and I would hope that they would give me the respect to let them know personally that, hey, I was going to be leaving, and instead of just assuming I was leaving. I think it says a lot about our program and what Coach Swinney's trying to, what we're building here and what we're doing. You know, it's been, you know, to have someone call you as you would do. I mean, everybody had me interviewing several times, and you know, a phone call asking an interest and talking over the telephone is not considered an interview by some standards. But you know, when it leaks out that people call and just inquiring and talking, you know, it turns into a full-fledged interview. But again, you know, I've been flattered. We've been extremely successful, and I think it says a lot about Clemson and what we're trying to do. And so, you know, with all that being said, it's been a week of ups and downs type of deal with you know, making sure our players are focused. That's the number one objective. But we're extremely happy here in Clemson, you know, Clemson has been very committed to winning, and because of that, I mean, you know, one of these days, if that day ever comes, I don't judge being successful by whether or not I'm a head coach. That's something I'm not going to do. As I look at my career, or look at the career that we've tried to establish, is if it happens, it happens. But it has to be the right fit. And you know, just as you would do if Sports Illustrated called you and asked you, hey, we would like for you to come and visit, or we would like to talk to you, you would at least say, okay, I want to listen. And what do you have to offer? And it may not be the right fit. And because we got a great thing going here, not a good thing, we got a great thing going here. And if that opportunity ever presents itself, and it's the right fit, then we'll go to the next step. But until then, we're extremely excited about what we have here and what we have coming back, and the direction of this program.
Your comments afterward almost made it sound like you at some point told them you weren't interested, or Texas Tech.
That I told them I wasn't interested.
Yeah, you just said that it wasn't the right time or the right fit. Or...
No, it wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right fit. And whether, you know, we talked, as y'all all knew, that we visited on Tuesday, and had a great visit. A lot of things we had to go back and talk about, and see if it was the right fit for Texas Tech, and whether it was the right fit for Chad Morris and his family. And it didn't materialize. And so you take the next step and you move forward.
So are you considering that your long job interview?
No, absolutely not.
What do you do to kind of get the players to focus?
Well, I mean, they've been focused all along until, you know, I guess Tuesday, and it's kind of, they just assumed they had me out of here, and was asking me about it, you know, while coaching, you know, what's going on, and all along I kept Taj Wood in the loop. Taj and I got a great relationship, and he and I had long talks through this process, and you know, and several other players that are some of the leaders of our football team. So with all that being said,
so you didn't have to reel them back in?
No. These guys are focused, and regardless who the offensive coordinator is, I mean, these guys are going to be focused. They're going to play. That's what they do, and that's who they are. They're competitors, and they're going to fight hard for whoever. And you know, I'm the one that brought it to their attention, and I'm the one that shared with them on Wednesday that, look, here's where we are, and here's what's happening. And this is, believe me, if something happens, you and I will be the first to sit down and look at each other and talk about it.
How nice is it at some point just to get this behind you and just focus on LSU?
Well, you know, like I said, it you know, it goes through an exhausting process, you know, an up and down process of a lot of decisions. You know, when you make decisions like this, you make decisions based on not just your family, but there's a lot of things that come into play. A lot of other players, a lot of other families that come into play, and that's why you have to make sure everything is the right fit, and is there a commitment to winning? And if it is, and you're a fit for them and they're a fit for you, and there's a great commitment there to win, and you feel like you can go and do it, because the one thing I do know about this business, you get one shot at it. You know, I'm gonna get one shot at it. I'm gonna get a shot that I feel like it's on my terms, and this is how we're gonna do it. And that way, if it didn't work out, hey, I did it, and I had every resource that I had to make it happen.
Now that you've had a couple weeks to think about South Carolina, you've got LSU, a similar talented team. Anything you would have done differently against South Carolina, and how are you approaching LSU?
Well, yeah, I mean, I thought the first half of South Carolina, you had the ball 42 snaps. We did a great job of mixing up the run and the pass. You had the ball 6 snaps in the third quarter and 10 in the fourth quarter. And of the 10, you had 4 or 5 on the last drive of the game. So, you know, your options were limited. You had to be perfect in the second half. And we had one 3-and-out, which was the opening 3-and-out of the third quarter, and never got the ball back till right there at the end of it. So, and then we went down and scored a field goal out of it. So, if we had it back, I wish we probably would have taken a shot in another play, part of that second half. But given the circumstance of the game, your options were limited.
I would think they would much rather see us coming at you right now than that LSU front seven.
Very talented, extremely talented. I think there's about 8 or 10 of them that they'll roll in there. And they've got their front 4 is as solid a group as we played against. And then they got 4 more right behind them. They do a great job of rolling guys in. And got an All-American in the secondary, Reed. Very, very talented young man. Has been playing ball for them for a while. So yeah, it's going to be a physical matchup up front.
Talking with Sammy there, right? He seemed like he was very motivated for this bowl and really excited about it. How would you evaluate this season?
Well, I think they're all motivated for the bowl. I think they're excited about getting back and getting going. And I think, you look at Sammy, you look at him as a tale of basically 2 seasons. He suspension, came back, sick, missed the game, and then really kind of got going late in the season. So obviously he hasn't had the year, hadn't put up the numbers that we've seen a year before. I think that has a lot to do with the fact he couldn't get the groove. So, I think now with 15 bowl practices, I'm excited about getting these guys back on the field and getting rolling on the 31st.
Chad, Lorenzo Ward was saying if you take away Kaiser's first read, he tends to pull the ball down and wants to start thinking about running. How close is that to your perception?
Well, we've got several reads in it. I mean, he goes from one primary to a secondary read, and I think when you take one read away, and the front that they had, defensive front, with Clowney, he limits how quick you can get to your second read.
Right.
So you can take the read away from him, but you better have some guys be able to put a pass rush on him, and they have that. I think Clowney, when he wants to, I said it before the game, I felt like he's probably one of the best players in the country, if not the best player in the country. And I think he shows that.
The loss of Martavis, does it change anything that you do, or who needs to step up in that place?
No, I mean, Sharon Peake, Jerron Brown, those guys are good players, and they're going to have to step up and continue. It kind of hurts us a little bit on some depth at the receiver position, but we're going to be fine.
I know you only had 19 second half plays against South Carolina, but Ellington only had 4 carries. Is that something you look back on and say, you just didn't get him involved?
Well, the 16 that we had, I think, again, I think the opening drive we went 2 or 3 with him, and then he got hurt, got pulled out late in the game. And I don't know if he even finished the last drive. So again, it's hard to look back on. Sure, yeah, when he did the ball more, you bet. When we go 3-and-out, your options are limited when you go 3-and-out. You kind of look at it from that angle. Yeah.
Do you look at what LSU has done against, say, West Virginia, Auburn, Oregon, teams that play fast?
Yeah, you try to look at common opponents, or opponents that are similar to us. I think one of the things is that the thing that just keeps coming back with those guys is their defensive front. Their linebackers are really sound. they're a screen pass away from playing for the national championship. So essentially they're one play away or a fourth down conversion away from playing for the national championship. This is a very talented football team that we're playing. It's a great match.
Is there something you can get from the way that they defended those?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, they're going to be who they are. They're not going to change who they are because they're playing us.
Yeah.
And so we know what they're going to do, and we got to prepare for that and go out and execute. That's the key, is execution, especially when you have this many days off before a bowl and you have 15 practices, and then you try to get good at, go back to get good at what you do. And we're going to have to play physical football. I'm telling you that. We're going to have to play physical up front, and that's where it's going to start, and that's where it's going to end.
If I may ask, because you alluded to it in your comments earlier, in the process of looking at jobs and opportunities as they come along, it's people on the outside always think in terms of how much money a guy makes and can they afford him beating the salary or improving it. It's more than that, correct? I mean, you're looking at a lot of issues in terms of, as you said, commitment to winning and the resources that you would need to do the job if it's your one shot.
Yeah, that's a great question, and absolutely. I mean, it has nothing to do with money at this stage with it. I mean, that's, from a head coaching salary, that's not it. It's not about that. It's about whether or not, have they won in the past? What is the commitment level to winning? And and so when let me back up, come and clear up what you asked me of me looking around. I didn't look around. People call me and ask and inquire, and that's the last thing that's happening here is me getting on the phone and calling and looking around. But so with that being said, absolutely, there's got to be a commitment from a support staff to a fan base that is hungry to win. I mean, there's so many variables that play into a decision that you make. Again, you go back, you get one opportunity to do this. And you want to make sure it's in a place that you can be successful, that you can win, and you can make an impact. And that's the way I would perceive. Now, everybody else may perceive things a little bit different as far as other guys looking for head coaching opportunities, but that's the way I would do it.
Are you finding when you talk to people, when you've talked to somebody, that there's a reluctance to go that far and?
Well,
full of money for assistant coaches.
Sure, absolutely. And again, going back on it, I think you got to look at it as, there is a huge commitment to winning in Clemson, and to the point of that from my deal, from my contract, I'm in a situation that it's going to have to be the right fit before it can happen, before it needs to happen. And just to say you're a head coach, that does nothing for me. I have no desire. Just to say I can be a head coach at wherever, I have no desire to do that. Because I feel like we've got a great situation here, and we're building something special, and a great commitment to winning. And that's what you asked for.
Let me try one more on that, and I'll mention Louisiana Tech, but I'm not specifically referring to them, but. But I mean in the context of they don't pay a lot of money, they don't pay the assistants a lot, they don't have a big recruiting budget, yet the last two guys there went to Tennessee and Cal. So that says there must be.
Well, sure.
Must be some. So
sure.
How do you, and leave Louisiana Tech out of it, how do you sift through things like that where maybe those things that you're talking about?
Again, I think you look at Gus. You look at Gus at Auburn, and those are just the. Again, each person is different, and that's just the way I am at this point in time in my career. That's where I am with it.
Has a lot of that been? I mean, you had to know some of that, but the experience at Clemson has probably reinforced any of those thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our experience here, the fact that we love it here. My daughter is in high school here, and so. Again, it's more than just about me. I'm just the small part of this whole equation. This involves many families, involves my daughter, my son. I mean, it has to be the right situation. I'm not going to up and just to say I'm a head coach at this point in time. I mean, it's just not it.
Could you be just fine if you were the OC here for the next 3 or 4
Absolutely.
years? That'd be just fine with you?
Absolutely. Would be tickled to death. Having fun, having the time of my life right now coaching football.
You mentioned Gus, and you took a non-power conference job.
And did really well with it.
Are you
Extremely
open,
well.
when head coaching opportunities come around, are you limited yourself to certain conferences or levels of school? Or are you open to
Well, no, I don't know if you limit yourself. I think you listen, and see what the commitment level is there. Is it fit your needs? Does it fit what you feel like is the right fit for you? It's so much about fit. I mean, personalities. I mean, it could be you can step into a community that personalities just aren't. They're not the same, and you'll never fit in. And if you never fit in, then you're already fighting with one hand behind your back.
All set.